Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. We'll be looking at games releasing on the Switch from the 29th of January up until the 4th of Feb, and before that, of course, as we always do, we'll have a look at a couple of games that may have missed one of these videos in previous weeks for whatever reason. So what games are coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. So a quick look then at a couple of games that are already out, as I said, and the first is called Vivid Night. This is a roguelite adventure game where you explore procedurally generated dungeons in order to defeat an evil witch and free your friends from their jewel prisons. You must collect jewels in these dungeons which represent your friends that have been transformed, and these will then act as units. Mixing and matching the colours and symbols on the jewels will activate powerful abilities, and you will also be able to find accessories to give your team an extra boost. It sells for around the £11 mark, or your regional equivalent of course, but it does have a 10% discount which is active for a few more days. And the other game we'll highlight is Record of Lodoss War Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. This is a 2D action game based on the fantasy novels created by Ryo Mizuno. You will advance through the world capable of melee attacks by way of your sword or ranged attacks with a bow, and you will need to alternate between a selection of elemental spirits to change Deedlit's attributes. It has a beautiful pixel art style, and aesthetically it definitely reminds me of the 32-bit era of the Castlevania franchise. This released a day or so ago on the 28th, and it sells for £18.89. Looking at the games coming out this week, and the first one is a very interesting platformer called Webbed. As you may expect, you play as a spider looking to rescue her boyfriend who has been carted away by a huge bird, and a lot of the action revolves around swinging from the spider's silk, creating webs to act as platforms, and assisting some of the other creatures you'll meet along the way. I must say the actual swinging mechanic looks very fluid, judging by the trailer at least, and some of the web building shown reminded me of using the blobs in World of Goo to create towers to advance. It also has a nice, albeit simple, art style that seems to fit the nature of the game well, at least judging on initial impressions. This is going to cost £16.99, but it does have 10% off of this price up until the 2nd of Feb. The next one is Kharon's Crypt, Even Death May Die. This describes itself as a dungeon crawling Metroidvania, and as you have no doubt seen, it goes for a Game Boy Color inspired look. It says here that you play as Kharon, a being thought to be death itself, and must escape the crypt where you've been sealed by a deranged king who wants to elude death. You'll need to possess enemies in order to progress, perhaps fly into an out of reach area by possessing a bat or using a skeleton in order to fight against other enemies, which does sound like an interesting mechanic, and I do like the retro style as long as you can zoom into the screen a bit more past the Game Boy border. It will cost £10.95 or your regional equivalent, but it is another game with a pre-order discount, this time of 15% up until the 2nd of February. Next game is the 100-Year Kingdom, which is going to cost £9.99, and it is a turn-based simulation game where you must build up a civilization over the course of 100 years. You will be cultivating land and constructing buildings, and it says that you can shape the world to your liking. It appears as if it will be a simplified version of games such as Civilization, with the blurb mentioning that there will be no elements such as diplomacy, war or calamities, so it will be interesting to see just how involved it is. Not a bad price though, as long as it does have a fair amount of content, and it releases again on the 2nd of February. Then we have The Dead Tree of Ranchiuna, which is a walking simulator that promises an immersive soundtrack and can be played in a first or third person perspective. You play as a university graduate who returns to the village where he grew up, only to find it deserted. What follows is a number of visions which shape a tale built around symbolism and abstract storytelling, so says the blurb. There are puzzles to solve as you explore the detailed landscape, and if you are interested, it's out on the 2nd and it will cost £8.99 or your regional equivalent. Another game coming out on the 2nd is McDROID. This is an arcade tower defense game where you play as a robot looking to save Planet M. The blurb describes it as a blend of farming, arcade and tower defense, and it definitely emits a level of charm judging by the trailer. Not only that, but at just £8.09, if it lives up to its potential, it could be a bit of a bargain. Next there is the Sealed Ampoule, which calls itself a dungeon agriculturalization roguelike game. It goes on to say that it combines elements of dungeon exploration and clicker style gameplay, and that you'll be leveling up both your character Irene and your dungeon at the same time. As you explore your dungeon, you'll be able to gradually transform it into a beautiful and profitable farm. You do this by harvesting items and learning new skills, which in turn allows Irene to go further into the dungeon. With over 100 types of skills to learn, it could be quite an addictive experience, and it's going to sell for £15.09, but it does have 10% off up until the 10th of February. Also this week is Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments, which is an adventure mystery game based on Arthur Conan Doyle's famous characters and is developed by Frogwares. This actually first released back in 2014 for Windows and the PS3, but it has since seen a re-release on other consoles, and it will see you attempting a number of cases, gathering clues and evidence, and using deductive skills to try and solve each mystery. I played this game on the PS4 as well as a number of other Frogware games based on the Sherlock Holmes character, and I enjoyed all of them. I'll be reviewing this one next week to see how well it's held up over the years, and it releases on the 3rd of Feb with 15% off of its price until the 10th, but this will increase to 25% off if you own one of Frogware's other games on the Switch, being The Sinking City. And finally for the week then we have Maglam Lord, which is an ARPG where you play as a demon lord looking to bring your species back from the brink of extinction. You'll be exploring the world, building relationships and needing to find love, as only by seeking the hand of marriage will you be able to avoid the aforementioned fate of extinction. It says here that you can craft hundreds of weapons, customizing and upgrading them to suit your playstyle, and it definitely looks like an interesting hybrid of real-time combat and relationship building. It's published by P-Cube, who have a pretty decent eye for good games on the Switch, and it will sell for £34.99, albeit again there is 10% off of this price up until launch day, which is the 4th of February. So there you have it, there's another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Are there any games there that interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comments section below as we look forward towards the rest of the year and bigger releases to come. Don't forget there is 10% off of eShop cards on our website at the moment, plus we are going to give away some £50 eShop cards very soon. That's all until the end of January, so you have a couple of days left to take advantage of that. Get yourself a bit of a discount on eShop credit and put yourself forward to potentially win some more at the same time. A quick thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.